What's up, enthusiasts? It's your boy Rob, back with another video. Guys, today we're going to be doing a box opening. I know it's been a while, but I'm happy to have one that I can open and show off to you guys. This is going to be the Dungeon Dweller set, the Henchmen and Hirelings set from Reaper Miniatures, and this is their Bones Black Bones Black series. So I'm very anxious to get into this box. And that's primarily because it's by my favorite sculptor, Bobby Jackson. Hands down, favorite when it comes to the game of sculpting. So guys, grab some models, grab some paint, paint the model, and enjoy the video. All right, guys, so here we are on the table. And like I said in the opening, this is the Henchmen and Hireling set from Reaper Bones. This is their Black Bones series. One of the primary reasons I picked this set up was because the modeler, designer, sculptor was none other than Bobby Jackson. I don't know if you guys can read that from way up there, but Bobby Jackson is by far one of my most favorite sculptors. I don't really know a lot of sculptors by name. I know what I like and what I don't like, but I will say this: I love everything that Bobby Jackson has done, that I have seen. I know he primarily does work for Bones, or Reaper, I should say, but I don't know what he does outside of Reaper Bones. So looking at the back of the box, it shows you get about 13 models, which are highly detailed Bones Black plastic miniatures ready to paint or play with right out of the box. So that's awesome news, but you know I've got to paint these. Not much for painting, but I do like to have my models painted if I can. All right, let's break out my handy dandy X-Acto. Nothing really else to show off on the box, kind of just duplicates of the art. You can scan that QR code if you want. Maybe you'll get some points or something, who knows. Okay, so just telling you guys right now, I'm gonna say this male mercenary is going to be my favorite sculpt, I believe. We've got this guy with this 10-inch pole engineer, a lantern bearer, a female mercenary, male porter, and he's got all the baggage on him. So that's going to be a really cool model. I can definitely see using that. If a lot of you guys are still playing Frostgrave, he'd be a brilliant character to have in your Frostgrave warband. And along with the other guys, we've got an Herbalist, we've got the male mercenary, Hedge Mage, Mapper, which this is again another cool model. Just looking at the graphics, but we got the Scout, we got the Grenadier, we've got the Link girl right here, and then we've got the Man-at-Arms with the Lantern, which is another cool sculpt. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull off this painting scheme here where it's got like the ambient light kind of hitting them, and it's definitely something I need to learn how to do in the near future. All right, so let's get these out of the box, because you guys didn't come here to listen to me ramble on about art and painting. You came here to see miniatures. All right, so out of the box, nice clamshell packaging to keep the models in place. I love that. I love this as well. Before we look at the models, let's take a quick look at this. I love how, if you were, really new to the hobby and you needed a tile, you could, a little dungeon tile, you could maybe cut off the access there, and that way you've got a square tile, but you could essentially have a, let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7x6, and then you can do 7x8 if you decide to keep the sides on. I don't really think I have any use for it, but you never know. Maybe small games. Matter of fact, what game should come to your mind? I know it's coming to my mind. What is it? 1, 2, 3. Rusty Dagger. Come on, you guys already knew. This isn't exactly the Rusty Dagger size, but you can still use some equivalent dice, appropriate dice, excuse me, for the grid here, and you could just roll it up using a D6 and maybe a D8, however you want to do that. All right, guys, so that's enough of that. That's pretty cool. I wish they would have had something on the back, but that may have been extra printing. And for something that's kind of throw to the side part of the package, it's not necessary. All right, who should we start with? Let's see if you guys know who I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with the Pole Engineer. All right, so let me move this out the way. Now, I don't know how well this is going to show up for you guys. Let's go this way. So, again, love the detail. This is actually my first time looking at the Reaper Bones Black. Now, I've got a bunch of older Reaper miniatures, the old white ones, but it feels like the black plastic is slightly stiffer than the older stuff. Yeah, that's pretty rigid there, you know. So yeah, if you were complaining about the old plastic being too bendy, this stuff is definitely solid. You know, you don't need to really probably do any of the hot water trick with these guys, but I'm assuming it'll work. But I mean, you can see his pole because of that clamshell packaging. His pole's pretty straight. All right, I remember back in the day when I used to get these Star Wars miniatures, how they used to have the bent lightsabers, and I could never stand it. All right, next up, we've got the Man-at-Arms with the lantern in his hand. Really like the pose. I actually love the pose of this one. It's very creative. It's very like action oriented. He's holding the lantern out. Let me make sure I keep it in the shot here. He's got the lantern out, and he is drawing his dagger or sword, actually. And he's got a few pouches on him, or a satchel. And he's got like a little sack behind his back. So very cool. A little armor. He's not too heavily armored, but he's got a nice helm on and some nice knee-high boots. So when he's trekking through the swamp, he doesn't get, trench foot. So that's really cool. I'm digging that one. All right, let's speed it up here. Next, we're going to pull out the Grenader, I believe this is. So, again, holding up a torch here. He's got his grenade in his hand to, definitely tell you exactly which character he is. I love that these characters so far have so much items and just different little trinkets on them. It really brings them to life. It gives them so much more character than being a base, something very plain, something not very creative and with no story. But you can just look at these guys and kind of put a story together. And it's that perfect balance because it's not overkill, which is very important. I don't know if that will help or not, but hopefully this isn't too blurry for you guys. If it is, it's my apologies. Do what you got to do to pause it. Another thing I want to bring up is the bases on these guys. So normally I mount my characters or my miniatures to a 25mm MDF base. These guys are pre-based to make it like they said on the box, pull right out the box and ready to play. But I hate that if you notice it there, these bases are oval. So I just feel like they may even have an issue standing up. They probably won't. No, they're pretty sturdy. That's good. So they're not warped. They're sturdy. They're going to stand up. But I like a nice round base. I don't really care for an oval base, just because I do more miniature skirmish gaming versus board gaming or RPG playing, where you're going to use tiles or whatever. So where you got squares, but so that having that round base kind of makes everyone uniform. But it is what it is. I think I'm going to keep them as is because I do like that the bases are not warped or anything like that, or some awkward shape. So they're at least uniform. So if I keep these guys in a group together, it won't be too bad. But for the mapper, one thing I want to point out, I don't know if you guys can see this in the camera. You might have to pause it. I don't know if you guys can even see that. But on his scroll, he's got he's drawing like an old school, like gridded map. So that's really cool. This makes me want to just play Rusty Dagger with this guy even more so, or even some other dungeon crawling game. maybe like a homebrew of Hero Quest. Love his hat with the feather in it as well. All right, let's move on, guys. Again, just really enjoying the work that Bobby Jackson has done here. Another character holding up torches. It must be dark wherever these guys are going. They're going to a dark, cold place where they need to have every man on board with carrying a torch. We need as much light as we can carry. All right, guys. Again, another satchel, another dagger. This character. So these guys are came out in 2020. So roughly about 3 years old here, but still enjoying what I see. Nice detail on the model, detail in the cloak. I love the bit of tatter down here. It's kind of ripped up just a little bit, give it even more character. So if I can get my hands out the way to actually let you guys see it. All right, let's keep it going. I'm going to pull out the female mercenary here. So another nicely detailed sculpt. You can really feel the chainmail underneath her garment, and she's got a nice like Viking style helmet or something similar to that, I would assume, but with the horns. Nice mace over her shoulder. She's a thick chick, so she's got the muscle to wield this mace and cause some damage. She's carrying a shield as well. She's definitely going to have to be a fiery redhead. And another cool miniature. Let's keep it going. All right. So let me do this. Let me try let's try to make this as easy as possible for you guys to see when I'm holding them up. All right. So we've got, this is the lantern bearer. He's another character with light. He's probably mad at all the other guys for taking his job away, carrying torches and everything. But maybe he's far behind the group because he looks like he's carrying, a lot of, maybe this is like lighter fluid or something like that to keep his torch lit. He's got a nice satchel. He's got a bow, and I'm assuming, yep, there's the quiver right there. That's an awkward place for the quiver, underneath his shoulder like that, but assuming he's carrying this long stick, maybe he sticks this into the ground. He's got time to set up and can be that range guy that we all need and count on. All right. Now, again, one of my guys that I can tell I'm going to be using this miniature very often. Just the other day, two friends were over and we were talking about getting back into Frostgrave, excuse me. So this will be actually a perfect, just coming straight out of the box, this will be a perfect warband. All I would need is a wizard, which I think this actually comes with the wizard. Yeah, the Hedge Mage I could use for my wizard. And I'll have to figure out something for an apprentice. But this guy is loaded down with stuff. He's got a big sack over his back. It looks like he's got a chest also tied to him. He's got rope, satchel again over here, some jars as well. He's got his dagger up underneath his arms. He's not going to be doing any fighting. He's got far too much stuff. He is definitely encumbered. So that's him, top view there. Okay, that was our male porter. Taking a look at the archer here. Let's see, just not too much to say about this guy. He's got a nice crouch position. No, this isn't the archer. This is a scout. Excuse me. I like his hat. He's kind of got this like really cool like he's kind of just laid back, like he'll be leaning against a tree with this a cigar or something like that, or a pipe, and just doing his thing until he needs to stand up and start releasing some arrows into his foes. Again, another oval base. At least the oval bases are somewhat okay. Well, no, maybe not. I was hoping that the bases were going to be similar in size, if not like, I prefer for them to be the same exact size, but doesn't look like it is. It looks like they're using maybe 2 different sizes, maybe even 3 different sizes. It's slightly different ovalish shapes. Let's break, since we were talking about Frostgrave, let's break out our Hedge Mage here. And then this guy is fingering through his spell book, I assume that is. and I think that is very cool. He doesn't have a lot going on, but he's also got some weaponry on him. He's got a dagger here. I'm assuming this is some sort of, I don't know, like some sort of scepter or something along the lines like that. Something, maybe some kind of scroll case. I'm not sure. Let's go with the scroll case there. He's got a satchel on his back, and he's got his long robe on. So very very mage-like for this guy. You know, nothing you haven't seen before. Okay, we're coming to a close, guys. We got 2 more after this guy. All right, so here we are. Which guy was this? Was this the Herbalist? I don't know who this was. We're going to call him the Crossbowman. That's what we're going to call this guy. Another excellent sculpt by Bobby Jackson here. I love this, like, the shoulder pad thing he's got on. He's also got slightly shorter boots than some of the other guys, but he's got his shield as well. These guys are loaded up with gear, which I love because it makes them look more like adventurers than anything. So, and actually, we're going to save that one for last. I think my favorite scope right now, the male Mercenary, just because I usually like a kind of hands-on, kind of in-your-face melee character. And this is definitely what you have with this guy. He's got his shield and axe, short sword or dagger, whatever that is, that's placed right there on his waist, kind of high on the waist, but maybe that's appropriate. I love his helmet as well. It's kind of got that, I don't know, like, obviously European, but it kind of reminds me of like a Spartan kind of helmet without the headdress part of it. Flipping this guy to the back, he's kind of got, like, looks like he's got his sack, his bedroll right here, excuse me. And I love, again, the cape. The detail in the cape is always good. So yeah, he's standing on a base. Let's see, I want to put this base up against here. Yeah, so the sizes of these bases are really bothering me. So you never know, guys. I might actually cut them off the bases. I'll paint them up first, see what I think about them, and maybe try to get them in a few games. And then depending on how I feel about the base, I may rebase all of these guys. All right, on to the last model. All right, guys, so here we are. This is the female porter with the wheelbarrow. Now, there's a lot going on here. She's got by far the most items that she's lugging around, which is why she gets the wheelbarrow. And I'm loving it. I'm digging it. One wheel up front. It's got that old wooden wheel. That looks very cool. That, man, if this thing hits like a tree stump, it's broken. All of the loot is going to spill over, and everyone's going to look back at her and kind of like, what's up? And as they're cleaning up, they get ambushed by, you know, some, what do you think they get ambushed, guys? What are they going to get ambushed by? Zombies, skeleton warriors, bandits, whatever you guys think. Put down in the comments for what you guys think they'll get ambushed by if this wheelbarrow wheel breaks. All right, but for the rest of the character, she's kind of plainly dressed, which is really good because she seems like she's kind of got a lower tier job on the team, and her uniform resembles that, you know. So, or not resembles that, but it kind of portrays that. So that is the last model. Really long, narrow base, but it is what it is. And let's take a look. She's got an axe up there, another package. I don't know what this is. This a harp? I don't know what that is. I'm trying to get a good angle on it. Not, maybe it's, no, okay, no, that's a satchel. I'm just looking at it from the side. All right, guys. And there's a crate there. So she's got everything tied down. And like, I love that you can actually see the rope around the crate that's kind of like keeping it in place. So, all right, guys, that was the last model. So I can't remember exactly where I got this from. It was online. It was an ad. I was actually going to get this on eBay, but just as I was shooting over the YouTube just to watch something before I purchased this, I got this from a website that was up in the ads, and whoever you guys were, I think it was, it was Knoll Hobbies was the name of the company. Good job, you guys, having an ad on YouTube. It worked. I bought it. They were actually $10 cheaper than anywhere else. So, and that's a huge savings. So everywhere else they were They're about 30 some odd dollars, or nearly $40. And after shipping and everything, I think I just paid I paid 25 or something like that, maybe 26. So just under $30. So I was more than happy with that. So guys, that is the box. Let me know which model is your favorite. What do you guys like the most from Reaper Bones? Is Bobby Jackson one of your favorite sculptors? And other than that, I'll see you guys again for the next one.